I'm Katrina and this is So and Tare, and today I'm going to talk to you guys about knowing your own pace. So I tend to do a lot, and I know that. I realize that. You guys know that if you watch the kitchen multitasking video. I'll put a link up here so you can see how that all worked out. Some people are good at multitasking, some people are not good at multitasking. Know your own pace. So that has to do with the amount of things you get done in a day, the amount of things you get done in a week, and also your plans. So if you are a step-by-step person and you do one thing at a time, that is fine. I hear a lot of homesteading channels and gardening channels saying do one thing 1 year. So, start tomatoes 1 year and then go on to green beans the next year, and start with, chickens 1 year and cows another year, or whatever you're doing, to do it step by step. And I think that's good advice for people that pace themselves and need the time to learn these things as they come to them. I also think that it's important, if you know that you are a personality type like I am, that you jump in and go, it's okay to do more than one thing, right? When you're starting out, you're learning all these different things. Right now, if let's say you don't have property, or you're living in an apartment, you're doing everything you can in an apartment, or you're doing everything you can on a city block house like this. This is a city block. Well, it's not a whole city block, it's one house in the city block. But if you're doing what you can in your space, and you're learning, even if you haven't done anything yet, hopefully you're learning about what you want to do, the things you can do, and all of that. So if you feel that you are committed, and you feel that, yes, I know how much time this is going to take, I know how much effort this is going to take, I know how much money this is going to take, you always got to think about feed and water and power and electricity, that kind of stuff, then go for it. I want to tell you, it's okay to jump in with both feet. It's okay to do that. The one thing I would tell you is sometimes you take on too much, and if you take on too much, realize that, know what you're going to back off on. Have a plan. If you are taking on a lot, have a plan. What would you quit? If you bit off more than you can chew. And you may have a friend that's helping you out, or someone that says, well, if chickens don't work out for you, I'll take your chickens. Or if this doesn't work out, we'll deal with it. So I would say you can jump in with both feet. You may be overwhelmed, and it may be okay that you're overwhelmed for a little bit. Hi kitty. If you're overwhelmed for a long time, or a time that is unmanageable for you, then it's time to back off on something. So keep that in mind. I know when I bought this property, it has a house and a screen-in porch and a garage on it, and it's 7,000 square feet. And I immediately started pulling out all the vegetation, all the trees, all the plants, ripping up things, and people in the neighborhood were curious what was going on. That's how I met a lot of my neighbors, is jackhammering the park strip up, or taking out stuff. And that's actually how I met a lot of my neighbors. They're curious, what are you doing, what changes are you making? And I was making changes a lot, all at once. And there was daily changes in the front yard that people would wake up and go, oh, I wonder what's in Katrina's yard now, or I wonder what she took out now, because I would do a lot of work at night, because I work full time. And so with that, I was taking on a lot, but I had a vision. And I think it's important when you do take on a lot that you have a vision. My vision for the yard was edible landscaping. I wanted to get every permanent plant in within the first year. Did I make it? No. Was I successful at putting in a lot of food plants? Yeah. Is there still more room? Of course there is. There's always going to be more room to grow things. But that was a goal that I made. And so I think if you are going to jump in with both feet or just do a couple things even, think about the long term. So let's say you're new to a property or you're new to a practice. You know, fruit trees take a while to grow. They take a couple years before they give good yields of fruit. I mean, the first year some people take the fruit off the first year, but you might get, 5 to 10 peaches, let's say, on that tree the first year if you plant, a bare root one. You may get a couple apples, on the second year, or whatever. All the different fruit trees has different timings. If you plant those first, you can get that out of the way, give them a good mulch, put them on automatic watering. Automatic watering is how you win, guys. Automatic watering. Put them on automatic watering, and you don't have to do much with them. Fruit trees require very little care, depending on what you get and when you get it. So if you're buying plants in the winter and they're not potted up yet, you might have to protect them a little bit. If you buy plants that are disease resistant to the diseases in your area, such as peach leaf curl or fire blight, or there's some other regional diseases. If that happens and you get healthy plants that are disease resistant, you are looking at very little things to do. You plant it, you water it, you mulch it so that the weeds don't take over and take away nutrients from your tree. And then all you have to do is once a year prune it. Maybe twice a year if it grows a lot and it's growing too much, summer prune it. So summer prune and winter prune, or just winter prune, or just summer prune, depending on what it is and how much is growing and how you want it to work. And then the fruit harvest, when they're young, it doesn't take long at all. When they're big, it takes a lot of time. So you're going to want to grow into that knowing how much fruit is going to be there. And you can control that by thinning, and you can control that by cutting more branches if you're looking for less. So those are the things that you need. If you're using compost, you don't need anything extra. Some trees you might want to spray, but again, if you have like peach leaf curl, I do spray peaches here. I didn't this year, and they actually didn't get it, which surprises me, because that's something in the neighborhood, and I didn't think when I got the plants, because they were $6 tree, and $15.88 tree, $15.88 tree. So those are the types of things that if you work hard and get those established first, you're good. You have minimal input while you're doing other things. So if you think about the kinds of things that take a minimal input, or the way you can set something up to have minimal input, then you can do more things. So a lot of you guys know, I have quail in aviaries and rabbits and chickens in the racking house and the raviary. And they don't actually require that much time. I have long-term feeders in there, and I'll put a link up here so you guys can see what that looks like. I'll put the quail one up there. I haven't made the upgrade to the chicken one yet, but they have long-term feeders in there, so I don't have to feed every day. And they have ever-flowing waterers, so the water never runs out. I'll put a link up to that video here. And when you don't have to feed and you don't have to water on a regular basis the birds, the quail and the chicken, then you are left with a lot more time. You can spend time with your animals, right? Not just going out and shoving in food. You can spend time with your animals. You can spend time doing other projects or whatever. It does take time to collect eggs, and more so the quail than the chickens, because the chickens lay in nest boxes, the quail lay wherever they feel like it. And the rabbits, then, they are also on automatic water. I don't have to worry about them with water, and they get fed once a day. So once a day feeding for rabbits is all I need. Like, if I need to get up and go somewhere and need someone to take care of my animals, all I need is someone to come in once a day and feed the rabbits. And I have a lot going on here. Everything's on automatic water, plants and animals, except for the green stalks. They do make an automatic water kit. I didn't like the design, and I was going to make one of my own, but then I didn't. So yeah, green stalks and rabbits are the only thing that need pretty much daily care. Well, rabbits do, green stalks don't, but daily care. And everything else you can do as it fits in your schedule. So if you set up the systems, if the systems are in place, then you can do more things. So I would say if you are a step-by-step person and you're going to take one thing at a time, one thing each year, I would say look at your long-term goal, see which of those takes longest to get to. For example, if fruit trees are in your future, maybe bump that ahead of chickens. If you're only going to do one, do the one that takes longer to be fruitful. If you're going to be jumping in with both feet and doing everything in the world, have your systems in place. So if you have your systems in place, you'll be able to not only manage your time better, have more time, but you will also be more confident in what you're doing. So if you have your water set up, if you have your basically anywhere you can do automatic water. If it gets cold, you can use heat tape. You can don't water your plants when it gets cold, that kind of thing. But the animals, you can use heat tape, or you can use you can switch out the system for summer versus winter. That's fine too for your animals. But automatic water is a lifesaver for animals and plants. And then as much as you can, automatic feed is good. You don't want to automatic feed rabbits unless it actually is a portion controlled, because if they get too chunky, then they can't really breed and produce young very well. So I guess that's what I want to talk to you about, is knowing your management style, knowing your I don't know what to call it, like knowing what you are all about. If you're about step by step, pacing yourself, then do that. And if you are gung-ho, go for it, then do it. Make sure you have your systems in place. Also make sure, like I said, if I have to go, if there's an emergency, I have to go, I have a couple people I can call that say, can you take care of this for me? And I would say you don't have to collect eggs, you don't have to do this, just feed the rabbits, right? And so have those systems in place and have those people in place, whether that's someone that you need to call and pay to do, or a neighbor or a friend or whatever. Make sure that you have that, especially if you're going big. So anyway, I hope that was a useful video. It's been on my mind for a little bit because I've been hearing a lot about taking your time and doing it step by step, which is fantastic for people that need that. But I feel like there's a lot of people who that doesn't apply to, because I know I jump in and I just go and get things done, and yeah, I have had to back off of things before, but if you jump in and you're getting things done, you'll know what you like and what you don't like real quick, especially if your time is being fought for amongst the things. So you'll know what to give up if you get in that situation. So all right, well, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Please give it a thumbs up and share it with someone who needs to be told to either pace themselves or to go for it. And maybe you can push them in whatever direction you're thinking that they need to go. Yeah, so thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, and have a wonderful day. We'll see you next time.